working with Windows gives you some unique words that you might not fully understand what they reference, especially if you haven't used a computer in a while or you're not used to using a computer. Maybe you're used to using a mobile device instead. So let's talk about some of these words so that when someone talks to you about them, you understand what they're talking about. The first thing we talk about is something called the desktop. The desktop is the area workspace that you are currently on. It's what you see. Now, your desktop can be covered up by windows. And those are parts of a program, or might be the whole program that's opened up, and that's where you work within that application. On your desktop, though, you'll typically find what we call an icon. Now, sometimes it's an icon like this, and it has a little arrow. That means it's a shortcut. The application itself isn't there, but something that points to it so that it can start is there. Sometimes it's the actual file itself. This, for example, is a PowerPoint presentation that is sitting on my desktop. That's because my desktop is just a folder where we can store files. Now, we'll talk about file management coming up in a video, so stay tuned for that. Let's get back to our desktop. Now, in the old days, our desktops were just a plain color and you could change the color, but they say, you know what? We want to be able to stylize it and personalize it, make it our own. If you look at a worker's desk, whether it's in a cubicle or an office, you notice a lot of times people will stylize it. And this was kind of the idea behind the Windows desktop is let's stylize what's on our desk. The way that we typically do this is by using an image. So we can set a plain color or we can define an image to use. We'll look at how to do that when we look at personalization of our Windows operating system. Now, down at the bottom of the screen, you don't see it right now, but if I move my mouse cursor there, you'll see that I have something called a taskbar. The taskbar is a list of applications that are currently running or are quickly available for me to run. On my taskbar on the far left-hand side, I have the Start menu. Now, with Windows 11, they have moved this to the center, but right now we're seeing Windows 10 and it's on the left-hand side. And that's where it was for other versions of Windows for, well, as long as I can remember. And that's why they've kept it there. It's just nostalgic stake. It makes it easy for people to know how to use. Now, under the Start button, if I click on this, you'll see that I have a list of applications that I could use. I also have tiles. Some of these are things of applications I've used. Some of them are files I've recently used. And in some cases, there are things that Microsoft has put there, such as want to get you to go to Microsoft Store and buy applications there, etc. Next to our Start button, we have a search box. Microsoft has been incorporating search for several versions of Windows, and they keep on improving and refining it. This will search not only your computer, but also go out to the internet using the Bing search engine, which is Microsoft's search engine. It will help you go to try to find things. So even if you don't have it on your machine, it can hopefully help you find it there. You'll also notice that there is some information about news going on currently, as well as some links of things that you might be interested in, trending searches from around the internet, news going on, etc. Next to our search box, we have a series of icons. Now, these icons are not running. They're what we call pinned icons. What that means is these are things that I currently and routinely use. Things like Microsoft Word or my email client. Instead of having to go into my Start bar, they're right there. They're pinned. That means they always stay there. All I have to do is click on it. It means it's just a little bit faster and easier for me to get access to those applications. Now, if I have an application that's running, you'll notice it's got a slight little underline to it, just to let you know. And if you hover over it, you can see a preview of what that application window will look like. Sometimes they have multiple windows and you can see and flip through multiple windows so you pick the right one. On the far right hand side, we have what's referred to as a sys tray. This tells us things like, do we have our audio plugged in and for like headphones? What volume setting is it at? What's our date and time? Ways to change it, etc. There's a lot of modifications you can do to your taskbar to personalize it to best fit your needs. Some of those things we'll talk about a little bit. Some of those are a little bit more advanced, but you can definitely do a search on the internet to find out what you need to do. If I have a running application and I want to make it a pinned application, I can right click and choose Pin to Taskbar, and then it will always be there even if I close it. Likewise, if I don't want an application pinned anymore, I can right click on that icon and unpin from the taskbar. That'll mean it'll go away. Those are some examples of how I can customize my taskbar. Of course, there's a lot of other ways I can customize my taskbar. Some we'll look at in the future. Some are beyond the scope of this module, and you may need to go do an internet search for. Up next, we're going to talk about the Start menu in more detail so you fully know how to use that. You can see that video coming up next.